Hi, hello, hope you're in fine voice. Today I want to take a look at the steps you need to take in order to get a good recording, a good voiceover recording for your audition or for your actual work. And the first tip I'd give you is to warm up your voice. Just make sure that it's in good condition before you start recording. And you can use various techniques to do that. One of the simplest is just to do a little bit of gentle humming, a kind of just get those vocal cords moving. Or you may want to do something a bit more elaborate, like my vocal warm-up exercises. I've put a link in the description there so you can see it, and go and check those out. But I think getting your voice warmed up means that you are warmed up and ready to do your recording. The next thing, and something that people often forget, is to check your equipment. And it sounds like an obvious thing to do, but too many people sort of get a script and they think, great, I'm going to go for this job. They grab the script and they get behind the mic and they listen back and it sounds absolutely dreadful and they can't work out what it is, and they naturally blame their equipment thinking that must be at fault. Usually it's not at fault, it's actually your settings. So always check that you have your mic actually patched through to your computer's audio preferences and into your software. So if you're using Audacity or Audition or Cubase or whatever, or Reaper, make sure that your interface or your actual microphone is registered on the display there, so that you are hearing the microphone and not just the internal mic on your computer. And it's a common mistake, so do your pre-flight checks. Once you're happy with your equipment, you can hear yourself, you can see the waveform and everything, and it's definitely a microphone, then the next phase is to rehearse. Now, rehearsing a script is a fundamental part of doing a voiceover. You need to know what the words say, and you need to know how you're going to say them. And when you're rehearsing, don't make the mistake of just rehearsing in your head and just working through the script inside your brain, because your mind fills in everything and makes you sound brilliant, but when you come to get it out of your mouth, it's a whole different story. So actually take hold of the script and read it properly. Read it as if you're going to perform it, but you're not recording at this stage, you're just rehearsing, but you're getting used to those words, and that will allow you to work out where the emphasis should be, what the pace should be, and so on. Often you get scripts where you're not quite sure what it's all about, but you've got a pretty good idea. Make sure that doesn't come through in your voice, and that when you're actually delivering your lines, you're saying it like you're meaning it. And one of the ways to do that is to rehearse a few times. Like I say, make sure you read out loud, and that will be a great way to prepare you for the recording, so that when you're doing the recording itself, you're just using the words as prompts on the page rather than I have to read these words like this. And that will help you get a more fluid read. It will also make it sound more natural as well. Then you come on to recording. So you press record and off you go. But there's an approach that you should always take, and that is to talk to one person. And that's really important, because the whole philosophy behind voiceovers really is that you are addressing a single individual. You're not talking to thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands or even millions of people, even though, of course, that many people may eventually end up hearing you. But you can't possibly conceive of that. So you always address it to that one single person. One of the ways you can do that is to personify the mic. So you make the mic a person, or you can think of a friend or family member or a pet or just a mythical person that you create, and it's talking to them. They are your friend and they are your listener, and they'll take on board what you're saying. And that way, the message will come across in a much more personal way. It also helps you to perform the voiceover. And what some people do is they actually say the name of the person as they're about to read, and then edit that out. So they say, Susan, I'm going to be talking to you today, and this is what I'm going to talk about, and then they launch in the script. Make sure you cut that bit off the final recording, though, otherwise it won't sound very good. But that, anyway, is one of the techniques you can use. So develop your own technique, but above all, make sure that it's that one person, that single individual that you're talking to, and then you shouldn't go too far wrong. All right, thanks very much for listening to my top tips today. Look after your voice and see you next time.